Rutherford issues from the Smyrna Airport today. Good to have you with us. Bryan Barrett along with Rutherford County Commissioner Mike Sparks. Mike, how are you?
How you doing? Good, Brian. How are you?
Doing very, very well. Good to have you here today. And what brings us to the Smyrna Airport?
Well, as you know, we try to bring attention to the things facing North Rutherford County. And I talked to Steve Fitzhugh and John Black here a few months ago at a Rotary, and Steve was telling me about a Sewart Airforce base reunion out here. Many people may not know that the Smyrna Airport was a base that started back in right before, well, at World War II, I guess, 1941, if I'm not mistaken, and I think it closed down in 1970. And my dad was stationed out here. That's why my family, as well as many other families, had moved here to Smyrna. And my dad liked this community so much that he decided to stay. And me and countless other folks here in Rutherford County in Middle Tennessee were born at the old Air Force base out here. But that's what we want to talk about here today.
Well, we're going to spend some time in conversation about that and talk about a big reunion that is coming up, a biannual reunion.
Every 2 years.
Every 2 years, yes. We learned about that. So
yeah.
If it's the 12th,
you had to educate me on
if
that.
it's the 12th biannual, that means it's 24 years ago they started this.
Okay.
It's a little math there, right? Be about right, yeah.
All right.
See, so it's kind of scary knowing a guy who sells cars and doing a little math. How have things been going in that aspect and looking at county commission work and all?
Well, this economy is slow, as everyone knows, and I think we're facing unprecedented problems. The state's facing $1 billion shortfall. The county's facing, I think, a $10 million shortfall. We're seeing problems that I don't think we've ever. I think we've been so used to being on the high road and things slamming and jamming from an economic perspective, and we weren't ready for a slowdown. And I think it's caught up to us all. Even individual families, we're seeing record foreclosures, and thank God for it. My business, I had my best month last month. So I just got to give God the glory for that. But I think it's just a big correction, and we just got to. My generation's been spoiled, and I think we've lived beyond our means, and I think we've. Many people are paying for it, unfortunately.
Not only I don't think there's any question that we're seeing a slowdown, but my goodness, we could be anywhere else in the country. Things here are not as bad as they are in other places, and we're hearing some good economic news about maybe we're coming out of the recession, trying to climb out of that, and so. There'll be another day, and we'll get here tomorrow. But I think it makes us focus on things a little differently, maybe.
I think if you look at the rest of the world, we're all individually would be considered millionaires if you look at the standards that other people, their living conditions are. So even though things are tight and things are slow, that we've just got to be thankful for our blessings, and we've got a roof over our head, and many have a job, and we don't have to lay on a hut floor like some people do in other parts of the world, and we've got clean water to drink, food to eat, so we're very, very, very fortunate.
Smyrna is booming. I see a lot of new business, and one of those new businesses is right next door to you that we're having a big grand opening this weekend, and that's Trend Style Studio on Jefferson Pike, and they're going to be one of our half-off merchants on Half Off America on our website in the coming days, where you can get anything from nice haircut to manicures, pedicures, massage. So
I like that idea that y'all get. You want to elaborate about what happened with OmniHut?
Well, we had some OmniHut coupons or gift certificates on our website, and we launched Half Off America, which we're adding merchants to that daily, where area residents can go to WGNSradio.com, click on Half Off America, and they can purchase gift certificates. And we had $25 gift certificates for OmniHut, which you would buy for $12.50.
Wow, that's a value.
So that really is. That comes to Half Off America.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a good savings, and we put the OmniHut gift certificates on there, and within 4 to 6 hours they were sold out.
Good.
So we're hoping to get by there and talk to Polly about that again. But Trends Hair Studio is one of the new merchants that'll be up there soon, and many others. And Bunganut Pig out of Murfreesboro is there as well. So I encourage you to go to the website and check that out. But I did notice that your mayor is doing a little better, Smyrna Mayor Bob Spivey, and he's kind of had a long road to hoe, if you will.
Yeah, he sure has. I went over to try to see him the other day, but he was asleep. Just keep him in your prayers, and there's several, like I mentioned at Rotary. Our town attorney's not doing well at all. Michelle Elliott. She's really had a tough time battling cancer, and John Antorcia, he's had a tough time too. So just want to give a shout out to those folks that know them. Just keep them in your prayers. Smyrna coach Frank Freeman, last I heard on him, he's doing real well. So continue to keep him in your prayers. But I tell you, we're just real fortunate. If you got your health, you really got it all.
That's right. There are a lot of people that don't, and I think we may need to talk to some of these fellas here to find out what their secrets are, staying alive and staying healthy and kicking high. We're going to get into the conversation about the Sewart Air Base reunion, the biannual reunion that's coming up, and just reminisce here on the radio about the old Sewart Air Base. Right now, 78 degrees, partly cloudy skies. We've got some rain moving in here in the next few, so we'll talk about that. We'll get an update on your forecast from staff meteorologist Laura Lockwood, and also take a look at traffic with Brad Reed. Let's take that traffic and weather break and then come back and jump into the conversation. Ron Jordan will be by as well in just a few for a news update. That's all coming up here on Rutherford Issues at 4 o'clock, all sports talk. 5 o'clock, I'll be back in the studio for Homeward Bound local news. But for now, we'll take a break. We'll be right back to the Smyrna Airport. It's Rutherford Issues, the Smyrna edition on WGNS Authority offices today, and appreciate the folks allowing us to come in to, I guess, really invade their boardroom. I kind of feel like Donald Trump on this side of the
big nice table.
Yeah, it is. Nice table, high back chairs. We're going to be talking about the Sewart Air Force Base, and you kind of gathered some guys here, Mike, that I guess they've been around the Sewart Air Force Base block, haven't they?
I was hearing some stories just now that I didn't know Mr. Taylor here. Well, with all due respect, I didn't realize he's old as he is. I thought he was a little younger. And he went in the service in 1944. You say, flew on a B-17, and I told him, you're too young to be on a B-17. I didn't realize you went into service back then. But yeah, we've gathered a good group of folks. I had a couple others that were going to come up, and they couldn't make it. James Rice couldn't make it. He's under the weather, and Charlie Stewart, who was recruiter out here for many years, he couldn't make it today. But some of these stories, they're fascinating to hear, and that's what I kind of wanted to share today.
Well, Steve Fitzhugh is with us as well, and Steve, you've been around, but I see that you've got a road named after you out here somewhere, don't you?
Well, yes, I've been trying for 5 years to get a toll booth out there, but they won't let me have it.
Well, maybe that'll come. You'll have to talk to the mayor about that or something.
Well, I have 2 or 3 times, but it doesn't work. But yes.
You were the former director of operations.
Yes, operations training for the old Sewart Air Force Base when it closed.
Now, how long ago has that been? How long ago did it close?
1970, 71. It closed on a gradual slowdown basis. But it was a gradually closing base. It started about 69 and it went into 70, and then early 71 it closed up.
Stan is here as well. Stan, how do you say your last name again?
Hahn.
Just like it's spelled there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stan Hahn is one of the original instructor pilots out here, and he was one of the chief instructor pilots out here.
Well, I can say Fitzhugh, but not Hahn. But Stan, you were kind of the chairman in putting together this reunion, and I think you and I talked 2 years ago, I believe,
yes, we did.
to talk about this, and I didn't have a chance to do a remote and have all these guys together, which I'm glad we're able to do that with this biannual reunion, and that's coming up when?
Well, it starts on the 21st and goes through until the 24th of May. Checking out on the 24th at the Airport Marriott.
Airport Marriott, all right. And Denny Taylor, who is the young 83-year-old, I think, that we had Mike talking about just a moment ago. Pull that mic up there to you, Denny.